Thank you once again for this opportunity. This is the second time the schools division of Bata-an has invited me. I know this is part of your two-day activity where you will be completing this short program of customer service basic from your learning management systems of your choice of time and at your own pacing. Again, this is Ray Dennis Caballero joining you here in Negros Oriental at Silliman University. Okay, these are my social media accounts where I'd love to invite you to be engaged with me with regards to any other aspects of, especially in youth formation, because that is one of those that I'm always passionate about. And I'm also an ICT manager by profession at Silliman University. Okay. Allow me to tell you a short background of my employment and my engagements so that you would appreciate probably of what we can learn from each other in this experience of the session for customer service basic. First is I was connected once with the UNFPA or the United Nations Fund for Population where we work directly with a government agency, a national government agency. This is the Commission on Population. All right, I was part of the seven-man team for the project development office, where we were the ones to decide for the projects of UNFPA and funding to the Philippines. So in this work of mine, in this engagement of mine, we had direct contact with our stakeholders, direct contact with our clientele, and a lot of organizations, national organizations, and yes, foundations, NGOs, government agencies. We worked with both from UNFPA and the Commission on Population. Currently, I'm also connected with the province of Negros Oriental in the capacity of consultant for community development in the province of Negros Oriental. So you would imagine the many people, individuals that we meet, and organizations and LGUs we talk to with regards to their community projects for the entire province and for their LGUs and therefore communities. But I'm full-time also as an ICT manager of Silliman University Library. Okay? You would imagine when we say of ICT manager, we'd be only dealing with hardware and software. No. In the current setup of a transformative library, we of course handle also digital marketing. So from the topic that we're thinking about or we'll be discussing for now about customer service basics, it would already include digital marketing here. This is not only face-to-face customer service, but also handling with a lot of ICT delivery for ICT for customer service. All right. But the first question we'd be asking ourselves, being a schools division office, is customer service a requirement, an important aspect for schools and for the division, right? That's a big question because the most important delivery that we need to perfect would be education. So allow me to tell you a little about this first so that we'll know the fundamentals of why we need to grasp totally customer service and not just take this for granted. All right. We know for a fact that the answer to this is yes. And we know for a fact also that the most important in our service is the delivery of education. But what makes it perfected in terms of delivery for education would be the overall success and positive experience in our way of giving customer service, especially for our students, to our own faculty and personnel, to our own teachers, and syempre, sa ating mga community. Okay? Then these are some of the reasons. These are some of the reasons why it's very important. First, parent and guardian satisfaction. This is very important in our delivery of customer service. Next would be student engagement and support. This is the first two would be the best gauge of our delivery for education if we partner, if we supplement it with good customer service for our parents, and we have gained satisfaction coming from them. Our parents, our guardians, our students. All right. Next to this is we should not only think of customer service going out. It is also within the system. So we have to consider how we handle our customer service, our customer support towards our schools, towards our own personnel and our teachers. Next would be the reputation and enrollment. It is very important to consider that if we break customer service satisfaction, this would really also break our enrollment rate and of course the reputation as a whole for the schools division, not just for one school but for the schools division. Next would be obviously retention and loyalty. I would remember from a distant past, I graduated from a private school, but up to today, it's very fresh in my heart and in my mind that my loyalty is because of the customer service given to given from my teachers, given by my teachers, and of course from the school that I came from. So you see, you probably have taken for granted customer service because it's not used as a term daily in our schools and in our division. But myself, having experienced loyalty and of course retention from my previous school, not this is not Siliman University alone, huh? This is a different school in my high school and in my elementary. I had one school for the entirety of my kindergarten going to high school. Then I moved to Silliman University when I was in my undergraduate studies up to my master's. So, yes, I love to connect customer service from my school. That's why I became loyal, not just for education, but how they handled me and my parents. All right. Now let's go to number 6, resolving issues and improving communication. Obviously, that's really part of customer service. There would always be questions about grades. There will always be questions about how we handle several challenges inside the classroom for our learners, and going to report this to our PPA and of course specifically to some parents. And yes, if we do not know how to handle it, no matter how grounded the decision is, no matter how obvious what is the reality is, what's more important is how we handle them. And lastly, our positive school climate. This is a very general environment expectation from our schools and from our offices, but it is one of the major reasons why we need to consider how we handle customer service because of our positive school climate. All right, that's it. We have established that part already. Now, here's one phrase, one sentence is very important. Why there is and there should be always effective customer service. Allow me to cue you to, we'll read this together from your LMS now. So, 1, 2, 3, go. Schools can create an atmosphere of care, support, and engagement. Remember, this is anchored in education, but how we handle would be about care, support, and engagement. All right. So now we have already tackled the fundamentals. Now, let me remind you at this day and age, especially to come from a pandemic for 2 years, it is not only a face-to-face customer service channel. We have many other channels that we need to consider. And it's shown on screen. I need not tackle this one by one with you because I know you know, and hopefully I am confident you all have these channels aside from the face-to-face. Because according to many studies, our customers, our clientele now would opt to consider these digital channels rather than going to your school or to the division office physically. Okay, now let us very quickly also look at customer experience and customer service because these are interrelated words, phrases, theories, but there are some things that we need to look at, especially in their differences. Okay? Now, customer experience is the bigger scope. All right? Customer service is the specific way of reacting towards a certain probably query, emotion, or challenge. There is one single functional, single point in time. However, for our customer experience, it is the proactive side. So let me show you another diagram. Probably I'll leave it to you later to look at the previous slide. But this one would be a better way to explain this to you. So if you can see, the green circle is the customer service because as allow me to read that at a specific time, place, and channel. It's the help you get. It's reactive, meaning there should be something, there should be a trigger for us to give that customer service, right? But the customer's experience is the bigger scope where we need to really consider. That is why, since it's the sum, before any customer service transaction, we as a whole, as a division, is already ready in terms of our framework on how we need to handle customer experience. All right. So customer experience would include there the biggest chunk, which is education. How we will deliver education perfectly. I love to word. I use that word perfectly. And surrounding education with will all the other factors that we need to also check, right? Especially on how we present ourselves daily. We will talk about that later. So I hope this is very clear now. Customer experience and its relationship to customer service. All right. Now, who are our customers? Obviously, you know the answers to this. But this is not only regarding our parents, huh? That's probably one of the most important part, the parents. But this would include neighbors, taxpayers, the entire community, of course, our learners, our students. But never forget again, I told you already, our own school personnel, our own division personnel, and yes, uh, the moms, the dads, the mama, the papa, and of course, uncles, aunties, grandfather. It includes the entire family. All right. Next would be whose job is customer service. You'll be probably be alarmed, shocked na it includes everyone, even our janitors, our custodians, our securities, our lunch aides, everyone, office staff, it includes everyone. It is not only the front liners. Okay? Next. Now, I love this slide. It says there it's not just about having a quality product, it's about how we deliver the product. Well, you will say, so sir, Dennis, it means how do we deliver education? Obviously, yes. But 68% of our customers will leave a place of business based on the indifferent attitude of a single employee. So from the guard, probably, from the gates to the frontliners, probably in the registrar, or going to the division offices and the many supervisors that we have. And yeah, think of so many scenarios. Just one mistake of how we handle that dad, that lola will change everything of their take of how it is in our customer service handling. So how does that relate to our customers? Have we earned a tip just like in our restaurants? because the tip, meaning their appreciation and their valuing of how you handle them, will really go an extra mile. All right, we aren't loyal just for the sake of being loyal. Diba? That was part of my slides a while ago about loyalty and retention. It will always be, what does loyalty or loyal look like? We are loyal because the other person has proven that they have our best interest at heart. Okay? That's self-explanatory. I just need to remind you and emphasize that to you, that there is always a reason why people become loyal and why our customers become loyal, and why they will speak good things about you and about your office. It is because of how we have taken into consideration the best interest, of course, will be at our heart. Best interest at heart. All right? Their best interest at heart. Okay? Parents tell us feeling welcome and being treated with respect by school staff is the number one reason they feel connected with the school. Imagine this scenario is even not mentioning yet how education was delivered, but it's how we have connected with the school. See, this includes students if they are connected with the school. Now, I remember again my high school. They have the best customer service because I feel loyal to them. But if there was one thing to improve, it's their relationship to their alumni. Okay? Now, here comes what it is with Silliman University. What makes Silliman University so strong is their alumni. It's good to share this to you because that is also part of customer service. There are so many donors for Silliman University, and it's so big a donation every year because they have taken care of their alumni. So meaning they're still connected with the school, even if they're at their 50s, at their 60s, at their 70s. They come back and they have a lot of chapters all over the world. And USA has so many chapters, very active chapters. So that's one big aspect of customer service. So I hope you get the picture now. All right. So how we treat each other leads to how we treat our customers. So I think this is one of the ending slide with regards to the fundamentals of why our customer service is very important as a division, as a school, because it will go back still to our own dynamics with our own personnel. So I am so happy you have this 2-day training organized, because it will not only, of course, refresh your minds of the theories of customer service personally, the personal learning process, but it will also give you an avenue to talk to each other and collaborate with each other, that this is not a single show, that you are really good in handling any client, but it is more on the dynamic collaboration of everyone, because it needs a team for us to put out a good customer service yeah, customer service. Okay, so please again remind yourselves that how we treat each other in the division leads us to how we treat our customers also. Are we ready as a company? And not until we first enjoy each other's company can we deliver a very good customer service. So enjoy yourselves in whatever venue that you have. I believe it's in a resort now. So enjoy each other's company, because this will really help us in going back to our schools division and giving that best customer service for everyone. All right. Now, it also boils down to this. Schools belong to the people. We are simply the caretakers. So I need not ever emphasize that, because we are always reminded that yes, the Department of Education is part of government, and what we serve as a government institution would always be everyone, our stakeholders, our yeah, our citizens of the Philippines. Okay? So we now proceed to the next part of our slides where I will be giving you pointers. These are just reminders. So before we proceed, altogether, we need to read these two words only to start with everything. Customer service will always be about being nice. Yes, it's very simple. Customer service will always be about being nice. Be nice to everyone. The keys to customer service will be for 5 words only. All right? They feel welcomed, they are appreciated and valued, respected, understood, and helped. Okay? Remember these 5 words because as we journey to these tips, to the components of a good customer service, it will always boil down to this very simplistic feeling from a single customer that you have entertained. Not just face to face, but these words will cross them even if it's just an email. The choice of words and the structure of our sentences and how they heard the delivery of your voice, if it's through a call, it will always be about did they feel welcome? Did they feel appreciated and valued? Were were they respected at all, understood and helped? And these are perceptions. You cannot blame the client if they did not feel these components that I'm telling you now. So the keys will always be they will be the one to judge, not us telling ourselves, oh, naging respectful naman ako ah. What if their perception was, I feel not valued at all. No matter how you emphasize that they were valued, if ganun po yung impression nila, ganun po yung perception nila of what you did, sorry na po tayo. We have to reevaluate again. We have to reevaluate again because probably the intention was good. Yes, the intention was really, really to deliver those what we are now talking about. But if it was accepted in another way, then we need to again, yes, talk about it and plan about it. All right, let's proceed. First is responsiveness. Okay, there's important factors for the excellent customer service. So one would be responsiveness. Customers appreciate prompt response. Okay? In this day and age where even a second is a delay because one click alone would be a big factor if there will be results. So imagine, can you imagine Spotify? I don't know if you've seen the movie, but the reason why Spotify was invented was for the semblance that even at a single click, there should never be a felt lag. So by clicking the play button to a music, no matter how slow your internet connection is, we will not feel the lag from the pressing of play and the playing of the first note of the music. So imagine how difficult it is for customer service to be an excellent one by considering responsiveness. So this is a very important factor. Okay? So allow me to talk to you about the model of responsiveness. This model is actually not a model for customer service responsiveness. Okay? This model of responsiveness is for an entire company. Let me be very clear with that to you. But I wanted to use this. I wanted to use this because for me, I don't want to delve to the lowest part where we'll be talking of what is responsiveness for customer service. I'd rather talk at the bigger theory of what is responsiveness for an entire institution, for an entire company, and like you, for an entire schools division. So first would be at the lowest would be respect. So being responsive to our clientele is a company who has respect. Okay? That's a very good foundation. We need to respect each other. We need to respect also our clientele. Because without respect, we can never be responding to any call of action within the company itself and to our clients. Second will be distributed authority. So, yeah, we have other words for that. We call that delegation. We also call it management. So we are avoiding bottlenecks. So it is very important to have a distributed authority. I'm not talking about fear of bureaucracy because that is also one of the aspects where it becomes a challenge. And yes, I felt that in the Department of Education many times, and this was also conveyed to us by many of our partners in the Department of Education. But look at it more as a distributed authority. And I think this can be seen and well projected in the local schools division if the leadership of the superintendent and everyone in the schools division would give that, yes, will give that environment for everyone. That the distributed authority would avoid the bottlenecks of giving delivery. That's why it's very important in responsiveness, there is a clear definition of everyone's authority, and it need not to be always going up to the superintendent or the principal's level just to give that customer service. So if there is no law bound to that, if there is no memorandum that we would be breaking, it would be best spread out so that the authority would be to going down even to our teachers so that there will be very quick response for every customer service query. Okay, next to that would be transparency and growth. I need not probably explain that to you, but this is one of the already at the almost to the highest level of our model for responsiveness. It is very important that we need to be transparent and yes, an environment for growth so that as a whole, I'm not talking of customer service again here, as a whole, as an agency of government, we can be responsive of the times. We never planned to be in a pandemic. But because of the pandemic, we saw how we can adapt because we allowed transparency and growth for the entire Department of Education. And lastly, at the highest level, will be trust. Responsiveness would need trust because without trust, there will never be an effective customer service. Imagine delivering customer service where you cannot trust the process. You cannot even trust your role because you do not know where your authority comes from. And yes, you cannot trust your colleagues and many, many other aspects about trust. So, in a responsive company, not just only delivering customer service, but delivering education, going to other improvements and developments for the betterment of our learners and, of course, the agency, there should be trust. So, again, this is a well established already theory of model, a model for responsiveness. Please do take note of these five layers in our model of responsiveness. If you will see, these layers are stacked up at each other and it's transparent because when you see trust, you need to realize that you need not also forget respect, distributed authority, transparency, and growth. It works together. That's why there is also the transparent layers so that you will go back again to the lower layers of how we did with that. All right, let's now proceed. We will go back again to the service channels that I've told you. Okay? Why I'm talking about that? Because we need now to assess during the pandemic, did we offer these channels to them? Did we have email? Yes, sir, we had email, but are you responsive enough? Were you quick enough to respond? Was there a chat facility? Was it even maximized? Are our Facebook accounts, our pages well managed and well responsive of the queries of our learners and of course our client parents, or was just was the page only for activities, okay, and for the sake of probably giving a face of the division or the school, but it was not really a serious consideration as a channel. Okay, now, we proceed to an example, although this is not exhaustive, but in Silman University Library, we do have a lot of channels, and I'm proud that these channels are really taken seriously. As if you remember from my starting slides, I told you about digital marketing. I'm a certified digital marketer by digital marketing agency in the United States in Texas, USA. So we also, train our librarians and our personnel how to handle, yes, customer journey and customer service and the things that I told you a while ago with regards to this one and how to handle. If you've noticed there, one of the logos is the talk to. I hope you have that facility. That is a live chat service where here in Silliman University Library, we have agent librarians that will answer them real time if they will chat us at our website. So there is that environment where they feel that it's a real human handling their queries, customer service to them. Okay. Second to responsiveness is where again we're talking about excellent customer service. We need to also have knowledge and expertise. Yes, sir, we're trained. We're already doctors, PhDs in our education. No, I'm not talking about that. Knowledge and expertise is a different one when it comes to customer service. We need to know the procedures. We need to know the regulations at heart. If I understand the Department of Education has so many memos given out in a single month. And sometimes it's very difficult what to weigh from the many memos given from national, going to region, going to our own schools division. All right, so I do understand that. But it is very important that we are knowledgeable and yes, become experts to this one because customer service. Sir, representatives, you are these representatives should have a deep understanding of the products and services offered by the business. You need to eat this for breakfast because it's not only the classroom setting that we need to really equip ourselves, but the entire processes that we are governed with because most likely these memorandums, this, of course, these regulations are the ones we will be dealing with every day if there is a client going to us in our digital channels and also in our face-to-face, meaning they would visit us physically, right? So here's the critical skills for customer service. If you would notice there, the elements are there should be clear, honest communication. Next would be civility, cheerfulness, and tact. Another is empathy and compassion. Next is diligence. And yes, all those components will be part of our discussion later on. But allow me to highlight that one of the critical skills will be product knowledge. Okay? So please do your homework with regards to knowledge and expertise of what we are as an agency of government, as Department of Education. Okay? Now, we'll proceed. We're still in the knowledge and expertise. Knowledge versus skills versus ability. I'll probably not dwell on this one, but I'll give you a few seconds of appreciating the slides that is provided to you so that you will understand the difference and be reminded of this one, all right? But if you feel free to come back to this specific slides later on and have a look about what is knowledge versus skill and ability because this will interrelate of why in customer service it's very important knowledge and when it becomes a skill already and yes when it becomes an ability or an expertise. So what our goal is for those three to interrelate and give the best customer service because we have that knowledge, we have that skill already with us, and yes, we already taken it as an expertise also. Now, we proceed to another factor of giving excellent customer service, that would be empathy and understanding. This is a reminder again, okay? Because I know it's every day that we are told either by our colleagues or a reminder to ourselves that we need to be sympathetic, we need to emphasize, we need to understand where they're coming from, especially our parents will become irate, our parents will be filing a complaint, yes, and our learners who are somewhat sometimes, sorry for the word, abusive, especially because of course they're in their age. But empathy and understanding is very important in customer service because it's a crucial element, and we need to listen attentively to them, acknowledging that these are valid concerns. Sometimes we know that it's not really valid, but in order to ease them and to calm them was it's just a simple phrase of saying, I know where you're coming from. I do understand. Because if we will tell them outright that they are wrong with their concerns, even a simple query would result to a different issue altogether already. So it's how we need to handle them. But yes, of course, that's part of it would be the choice of words, our emotions that come with our handling them. But overall, it will always be coming to what is understanding and empathy. Okay, allow me to tell you more about that. All right, we have here too. Again, sympathy versus empathy. I think you know the reason. I'll go to the corner and probably look at the difference because I think we have been told about this several times, but it's a good thing that we're reminded about this. Okay, every day. I'm not saying it's only empathy. There are times we need to sympathize, but overall, we need to put it across that we're empathizing to them. All right. Now, here are samples of empathetic statements for our customer service. We need to say to them, I'm sorry, you're having a problem. That would frustrate me too, and so on. But I intentionally read it that way. Imagine emotionless and saying to them, I'm sorry, you're having this problem. That's a different one. You need to use these empathetic statements, of course, with the correct inflection, with the correct way of delivering. But these are just suggestions. But basically, it revolves to these statements. I think we have another statements coming after this one. Yes, here are 7 powerful empathetic statements. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. So imagine a very powerful statement would really um, change everything from somebody shouting at your office, from the all caps of probably a chat, but you said that. You probably also say, I understand how you feel. Please let me know if my understanding of your problem is accurate. That will diffuse. That is what we call customer service that is empathetic. And yes, what is important is to diffuse the emotions because probably it's just a simple concern, just driven by emotions. Okay. Now, allow me to also show you the other tips of how you can be empathetic. I'll not dwell on this also because I love you to appreciate the slides. I'll go by the sides now and you will see, and you can probably go back to these slides and pause this so that you will appreciate also how it is to deliver, the ways to better deliver and put across the message of empathy and being understanding. All right, let's proceed. Now, we go to the spectrum of empathy. Okay, the bigger the circles, the bigger the component or the bigger it is as an important factor in the spectrum of empathy. It will, of course, start from a very, I'll point it out for you, that is, of course, pity. Now we'll go now to sympathy, empathy, and compassion. All right. So look at those growth coming from pity and going up to compassion. Okay. What the requirement is only for to empathy. This will take so much of your time, but do the extra mile if it really needs this one. Because my fear now with the trends of not only for this is not only for the Department of Education, okay? This is somewhat universal trend. We only settle for pity and going to sympathy, and it's very shallow. Please go up to empathy and compassion. And the problem sometimes is because, yes, because of the many discussions and seminars with regards to customer service, we just sugarcoat it with flowery words that I've told you, but there's no meaning. It's an empty statement. It becomes empathetic sounding, but it's not really empathetic at all or sympathetic at all. I beg that you need not be like this superficial world that we have now. Please be sincere, no matter how much training you've got. Okay? I hope you understand that. Being a community worker myself and a youth formator myself, I have always realized going to the communities, there will never be the best words to sugarcoat everything just to project that you are sympathetic, compassionate. What is important will always be our real feeling of being sympathetic and empathic to their concerns. All right? It should not be flowery words. It should not it should not be empty promises. It should always be sincere, authentic, empathy, and yes, sympathy to all of them. And yes, of course, compassion. Okay? That was a heavy one. Now, let's go now to communication skills. That's already very gas-gas, no? I think I need not focus on that one, but allow me to tell you a little about communication skills, why it's very important in giving an excellent customer service. So, another reminder in communication skills, again, coming from the pandemic, this was now emphasized that we have verbal, non-verbal, visual, and of course, the last one is written. Okay, again, verbal, non-verbal, visual, and written. How ironic the way we're talking about this now, when in fact we know all this, right? But even the simplistic theories that we're talking about now on how to apply a good customer service, we need to be reminded about this. Why do we need to be reminded? Because we always take for granted the many ways we can do customer service. And sometimes, for the lack of a better way of delivering it, we just settle to something, one of these. But we need to be, yes, ready for all those kinds of types of communication, because we already have so many digital channels, many channels to give customer service. Okay, let's proceed. Now, again, effective communication in customer service would really require active listening. Okay, speaking slowly, clearly, and concisely. Next should be offering clear explanations. And next to that will be repeating explanations for clarity and understanding. Of course, our teachers in the elementary schools would be very, um, would be practicing this every day in their classrooms. So I'm sure they would also be very good in doing this to our other clienteles, our parents especially. And lastly would be summarizing relevant details. Okay, again, very simple. Yet sometimes we take for this for granted. So now that we know these tips, we need to practice and yes, counter assess ourselves in giving this one. Okay, especially in the non-teaching personnel. Now, essential in communication skills. Please feel free to look at the slides. I need not to focus on this one because these are tips for you that you are very well equipped already. Okay, these are reminders. I'd like probably to focus on personalization. And yes, personalization because that's sometimes forgotten that if we especially in the digital media choices that we have, if we do not make it personalized, it's not well appreciated. It's just like any other marketing strategy that we do. So, for example, in emails, if we can personalize these emails to a specific know their first name basis, then therefore it will be much appreciated rather than making it generic. Okay, our communications. Okay, next would be the benefits of Chat GPT. I included this specifically in our slides. I don't know if the division of Bata-an is very familiar with artificial intelligence now. Okay, this is another forum that I can probably be one of your uh, resource person, being an ICT professional myself, but I know many of you still do not know artificial intelligence, uh, ChatGPT. But ChatGPT was invented as an artificial intelligence not for the classrooms, for our learners to really use for, especially in, yeah, in dayain yung mga assignments nila, mga papers. But this is very effective as a tool for offices and our marketing. Imagine asking an AI to write for you for your emails. So imagine the turnaround time of drafting a single email. If you need to, for example, if you're part of the division office where you are the ones to answer queries through email and you have 10 emails to reply to a day, and I know how it feels to draft a very good reply email that would only take probably 1 to 2 minutes in Chat GPT. Okay, this slide is intended for those who still do not know. So for those of you personnel who knows Chat GPT already and artificial intelligence that is going around now, please do let our other colleagues know about this. This is one way of bonding with each other and showing to them what is the maximum capacity and how it will help us as a division office if we make ChatGPT as our best friend. Okay, I'm not saying this will be used as a tool for our classrooms because there is a crossroad that we are going through now of how we can make this as a tool in the classrooms. But definitely, while we're waiting for that, definitely this is very usable and very a good partner rather. It is a very good partner for offices, especially in administrative work. Okay, for our emails, for drafting our memorandums, releases, and everything else. Okay. All right, we're not down to another tip or another important factor, which is problem-solving abilities. Customers often reach out to customer service when they encounter problems. So the very important part of customer service will be about problem solving. Okay, next slide. Let's look at what are the components of problem solving processes. Okay, I need not again tell you what is the process because I think in in most of your meetings you're talking about this, but this is again a reminder for all of us that in customer service, if we do not guide our clientele, if you do not guide our parents on the problem solving process, then we'll be lost by everything that they are complaining about or they're asking about. So you yourselves should be the captain of the ship, because when it comes to queries, added the emotions part, added the emotional outburst, then both of you will be lost in the entire process. Okay? All the more if it's in a digital media. All the more if it is an email thread. So if you cannot guide your clientele of the problem solving process, then it will be a defeat in the entire customer service that we wanted to deliver. I'll give you an example. Just lately, when I was in Manila, I had a problem with GCash. I sent an amount to a wrong number. Thankfully, I had a chance to get engaged with my bank, and they responded immediately, and also to GCash. I talked to their customer service. While I was hoping it will be immediately reverted on the next Monday because that was a weekend, I suddenly I suddenly received an email saying that the entire um, query that I did, the entire reklamo na I raised was already solved, but I did not see any revert to the amount to my bank. So I called again customer service. That's the part where I became somewhat irritated a little, because they themselves cannot, the other agent that handled me do not know what happened in the entire process. So imagine, the problem solving process was not followed. Coming from the previous agent, the original agent, where I don't know in the loop of their processes, there's something that went wrong, but another agent handled me who do not know also what to do. But to make the story short, although I was a little disappointed with their processes in the problem solving process that I'm telling you now, thankfully it was solved on that Tuesday when I called on that Monday. Right? So that's just an example that we need as agents ourselves to know how to guide our clientele in terms of the process of handling their queries and handling their complaints. Okay? Now, I think the next slide here will be talking about the differences between customer service and customer support. They can probably be interchangeable, but with regards to real specific complaints, it's customer support. All right? Because in customer support, we need to guide them sometimes real time, and they need solutions real time also, or a turnaround of at least 1 day. That's what we do also in Silliman University Library. Although most of our queries is of course resources, how to find this material, how to find this book, how to find this journal. When I say customer support, the the best reply would be, thank you for your for reaching out to us immediately. We will find ways to give you your choice uh, resource in 1 day's time. Okay? So by that reply alone, that would be a semblance of a very quick or real-time customer support. Even if you will tell them, we will give you your resource next week, I'm sure they will complain, but at least you replied to them immediately, because that's what's important in customer support and in customer service. Somebody responds to them quickly. So the different scenario would be this one. Somebody visits your school face to face, and no one could even answer to them where is the principal at the moment, or who else can they talk to with, right? So that's the thing that we need to consider ourselves with regards to that one. All right. Forgive me, somebody is calling. I'll just turn off the call first. All right. Let's continue now. Next slide, please. All right. Another is professionalism. Sir Dennis, all of us in the division in the Department of Education are really in terms of professionalism. Are very serious in terms of professionalism. Yes, I know. The level of that is very high already, but we cannot settle at that level. We need to go higher, especially that we are in the digital age now. Are you acting professionally online? In your digital presence, are you conveying that message to all of them, to our clientele, to our communities? That's one big question about that. Because customer service representatives should maintain professional demeanor and treat customers with respect and courtesy, offline and online. This includes being polite, using proper language, and avoiding confrontational behavior. Diba? Being nice, either online or offline. Right? Let's consider this fan. All right? You can either go there or go at another side. These are ways to become or to show professionalism. All right? So I need not again discuss it one by one because these theories, these tips are also interrelated to other items that I've talked to or will be talking to later on. Okay? So let's proceed now. So professionalism would be best described by these words. So there is ethics, there should be teamwork, we need to be critical thinkers, and yes, in our communication lines and being whole, sorry, humanness, being the human that we are, the professionalism side of being humans as we are. Okay, now let's proceed now to brand image. We're almost done with our session for today. Okay, brand image. In short, how we look. There should be branding. Branding as teachers because that's the big bulk of the Department of Education because we are educators and we're handling education. So our branding should be teachers. So for non-teaching personnel, Sir Dennis, we're not required to dress well and get up well because of course we're not frontliners. We're just in the office. We go in and go out unnoticed by anyone in the community. No, it's not that way. The brand is the Department of Education. Branding is very important. The appearance of our customer service representatives will be the biggest factor in how do we deliver. And it should be consistent. You look good now because the superintendent is here. The next day, you just again go back to your normal pambalay and normal t-shirts. All right? So dress appropriately and look appropriately, maintain and be consistent in that branding as the personnel of the Department of Education. Okay? So let me talk to you a little more about branding and the impact of image because that's very important in professionalism, in handling customer service. So what message are we sending out to our clientele? Is it a message of authority? Is it a message that we are healthy, that we are of integrity, disciplined, and organized? Or the entire opposite to that? Because if it's that, the entire opposite to that, then you have no place in the Department of Education. You have no place in the schools division of Bata-an. We need to show that we are in authority. We need to show that we are healthy with integrity, discipline, and organized. That should be the message that should come across. So I'll be showing you some pictures now. Are you that woman who is always sleeping by the desk? Are you that person where you're always irate and pasan mo ang mundo and galit na galit ka always? Ikaw ba isang party goer, nerdy, sabog, going to the office? Or ikaw ba isang teenager lang na party all night at Fridays and Saturdays and posting this to our Instagram accounts, to our social media, Facebook, and sabihin natin na wala pakialam ang division ng Bata-an in my personal life? Or are you also the non-hygienic person going to the office with bad breath, mabaho ang paa, and name it? Are you also the lagging late, 1 hour, 2 hours, or lagging escape kung may pagkakataon? Or, let's next slide. Or are we the personnel where you don't listen at all or not pay attention to our surroundings even though we have somebody with us, yung mga kasama natin na personnel? Hindi tayo nakikinig sa mga ano nila, mga sa lobby nila, at of course, concerns with the entire division or the school. Or are we the, slutty personnel of the division where ang daming chismis of a lot of illicit, either chismis lang yan or totoo or hindi? Are we projecting that image? Are we projecting that or sending out that message? Are we that, is that the way we are looking at becoming professionals as we are? Or next to that, are we also the Marites, Marisol sa ating division? Diba? So, kayo na po bahala mag-evaluate sa mga kasama nyo dyan. I'm sure nandyan kayo ngayon sa resort, or it's probably time we need to evaluate ourselves as well. Okay? Or if you have a chance to look at your own bags now, ganyan ba kagulo ang inyong mga sariling bag? That reflects much kung gaano din kagulo ang buhay natin, kung gaano din kagulo ang araw-araw natin ginagawa sa opisina. Okay? There are actually roadblocks to image and branding. These are some of the reasons we give why we don't dress up and why we don't put up a good image going to offices. Dahil wala naman akong perang pambili, wala na akong oras, kaya nga ako nalilate, and matanda na ako, malaki kasi ako, diba? Paano na yan? Or, sabi ko nga, hindi naman kami frontliners, Sir Dennis. So, kaya hindi namin kailangan yun. Backroom job kasi kami. And it's not a priority for me. Because what is important is how we deliver it in the classroom. No matter how I dress, if wala naman ng laman yung mga tinuturo ko sa parang, yes, it's true. But if you couple it, imagine what will be the brand that you will be giving. You are teaching them well, and you're putting up an image of professionalism. It means you value your clients that much because pinaghandaan mo talaga sila. Because showing value will always be giving much to the preparations. So, pag you do not put up that much in going to office, in going to school, it just means na hindi mo sila binavalue. Hindi sila importante for you. Okay? And that will come across. And I don't need it. Diba? Isa yan sa mga rason. Isa yan sa mga rason. Nagbibisaya na ako. And yes, my hair is blah, blah, blah. Ang daming reason. And hindi mo kasi alam anong pinagdaanan ko. Kaya don't ever judge me about my image because ang dami kayang kwento sa buhay ko at kung sana alam mo lang kung gaano kahirap ang pinagdaanan ko. Those are just excuses. The requirement is to be professional and put up that brand of, as I told you kanina, an authority, healthy, of integrity, and name it. Marami pa dyan. Okay? How about you then? Okay? So, yun ba yung mga roadblocks natin or you're putting up well in your image in school and in the division? Okay? So, you are the walking, talking representation of your image. And that is actually customer service as well. That is also very important in education because you are the message yourself. You need to accept that within you. You are the school's division of Bata-an. So this example is my favorite. When you are a star of ABS-CBN, you yourself, as a star, is contributing to making ABS-CBN a very big company. Kaya maraming pumapasok sa ABS-CBN, gustong pumasok sa ABS-CBN. And ABS-CBN is also you. So, you see the relationship? Nolly Di Castro is ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN is Nolly Di Castro. And all the stars that are in ABS-CBN contributes to ABS-CBN, ABS-CBN contributes to them. So sometimes you cannot see you cannot see already the line that separates that. And sometimes you forget that. Na tayo is also the representation of the entire division. So please, not just in customer service, but in everything and the entirety of our being part of the division, you need to understand that you are the walking, talking representation of your image. Okay? Image is always a choice. Apples and oranges. There will always be a decision. So if you want to be sloppy today, decision mo yan. And I don't know if mababawi mo yan bukas. If you want to be irate today, decision mo yan. And I don't know again if mababawi mo yan bukas because it will paint a picture not only for you, but it will also paint that picture for the entire division of Bata-an. Now, how to look credible, competent, and polished. These are some of the examples. Kayo na bahala. Okay? Because those items, ang dami po natin pwedeng sabihin dyan. But at least, this will help you. Consider na aside from knowledge and expertise, there is always these factors to put up that you are knowledgeable and an expert. Because imagine, in slippers, in shorts, tattered or not, and yon mga oversized na mga damit. Tapos, no matter if you're a doctorate degree, no matter you're an expert in that field, but without these factors, goodbye lahat. Goodbye talaga lahat. Okay? Good grooming and appropriateness will really put it up. Okay? I'll show you some of the items with regards to good grooming. So yan, checklist of good grooming, ha? Tingnan niyo yung mga nails niyo ngayon. Very good for my nails. I don't know if you can see that. Tingnan niyo yung mga toes niyo. Lahat-lahat ng aspects ng mga sinasabi dyan. Okay? Important is you are tailored to that professional that branding of what should be personnel of the Department of Education. Okay? And yes, part of image will always be behavior. It is always one of the biggest factors, not just for customer service, but also in our image. And yes, it's being personal. Sabi ko nga, di ba, sa ating sinasabi kanina, the company will reflect, that reflection will be from you. So, we'll skip that because we've discussed that a while ago. And that's important also. Communication is part of our image, our branding. Okay? So, communication is important in customer service. Now that we also mentioned that branding and professionalism would need communication. So see the relationship now of how these all are interrelated. I love talking about this because you can see once you cross another aspect of one aspect, you will see that it's also important in another aspect, and you will see that interrelatedness, and you cannot escape about it. Okay? And next to this would be our digital presence. Sinabi ko na nga yan, dahil sa pandemic, we have seen now the importance and the big chunk that our digital presence would be in how we can appreciate one agency and one company. Now, sir, personal ko naman yan. Yes. Pero, di ba, maraming memo na pinalabas ang Department of Education with regards to how we handle our Facebook accounts. I need not go to details about that because, yes, there are aspects there probably you do not agree with, But the bottom line of this is our digital presence adds or breaks that image. And it adds and breaks also of our success in putting out the customer service or the customer support that we need to pay to our client. Okay? And lastly, there should always be feedback and continuous improvement. Okay? Not just in customer service, but as an entire agency and as an entire schools division office. Okay, allow me to show you some of the few slides that we're already about to end. How to get customers' feedback. These are the three. Plan your feedback strategy. There will always be a plan needed. And design your questions from that strategy and find the best method. Okay? The cycle of a continuous improvement would involve this one, right? I think you've been bombarded with this cycle already for so many times, but in our discussion for customer service now, you should revisit what it is to improve, not just for customer service, but our delivery of education being a schools division. Okay? And altogether, we'll probably read this one. By focusing on these factors, businesses or the Department of Education can create a customer-centric culture. And second, and deliver an exceptional customer service. Okay? Allow me to show you this one, that in a customer-centric environment, we need these factors. So, sa ending natin dito pala, hindi lang pala dapat customer service ang pinag-usapan natin. We will go back again to having a customer centric. And we tend to forget dahil education tayo, kala natin, ang focus lang natin is our learners inside the classroom. No. Because the entirety of education will always be the environment as a whole. Allow me to tell you this, it may be probably very self-serving because I'm part of Silliman University. One of our presidents, former presidents, told us before, university president, that part of learning in Silliman University will be the acacia trees, the grasses, and the campus. It's also the same in doing customer service. Everyone is part of it, and they should have a role. And the entirety of education will always include how we do our customer support and customer service. All right. So once again, this is Ray Dennis Caballero. Thank you so much for this opportunity you've given me for now in your learning management system. I'm sure you need to repeat another session of looking at the session and understanding the session. Once again, these are my contacts. Feel free if you have questions and you want to engage with me, not just for about customer service, customer support, and I would like to include also ICT and digital marketing. And yes, again, I've told you already, I'm doing much also in youth formation, youth development, and community work. Once again, thank you so much. This is an honor for me to be with you and giving you my insights, my personal take on customer service basics. This is once again Ray Dennis Caballero. Thank you. Bye bye.